Morning, everybody. It's Al from Boston. How are you? It's 11 o'clock, 11:15, December the 2nd, and this is an after action report for last night. Some of you may have heard Ken Griffin was on Clubhouse. Now, Clubhouse is a social media application that's found on iPhones. It's not on a desktop app. It's on your mobile device, and it's invite only. I have one from school, and I listen to periodically thought leaders for the world. But Ken was on there with who was it? Marcus Anderson, I think Marcus Anderson, who's another finance guy. He's one of the guys that helped bail out Knight Capital when their $500 million mistake, and a bunch of other FinTel guys. Listen, I want to just break down what happened during the call and a response back, the ape response. Okay. So the entire call was completely scripted. There was it couldn't have been more staged. That if you sat and I listened to the whole thing. I listened to it 3 times. The whole thing was riddled with awkward pauses. I could hear Ken's lawyers talking in the background and the PR team, and Ken is getting directions. So they're he's giving these answers, and then the lawyers are saying, okay, stop talking. And it's basically what it is. If you listen to the call, and I hope somebody publishes it, because I don't want to lose my membership. Here's your disclaimer: if you publish this, we're going to boot you. I don't want to lose it because I need it for work. But the whole thing was staged. The whole thing was scripted. You couldn't. I mean, you could be a blind guy and you can tell that this was fake. Okay. So what was the reasoning behind it? Okay, redemption. Do you remember in the couple videos back, I said to you that every hedge fund has what's called a redemption period, where their clients can either re-up their money or they can get out. Well, people found out they have done their due diligence, and Ken lost a shit ton of his clients. They're gone. He's got to rebuild confidence back in the finance industry that he is back to normal. He's operating normal again, and X, Y, and Z. Now, I posted a picture last night on Twitter of Citadel's Twitter account, how it's starting to come up with more content, if you will, more events and stuff. Why are they just now doing this, right? The reasoning behind it is to let investors know, hey, yeah, we had this GameStop drama with AMC and this, that, and the other. Now it's over. We're moving on. We're going back to work. It's done and over with. And, lessons learned, great, blah, blah, blah. There was this false sense of confidence that Ken had during the call. That's when I knew that it was, it was already fake, because we know it is, but he deliberately avoided questions, and he gave very convoluted answers, and he kept bragging and this, that, and the other. That was the entirety of the call. He was also talking about how he's such a great patriot, he loves America, and he's trying to get conservative money, pensions from police funds and firemen, the traditional conservative sources of money, right? And I do mean politically, not liberally. I'm talking about politically. Okay, so that's the reasoning behind it all. That was the purpose behind the call, is to garner strength, to posture himself, to let everyone know, hey, Citadel's back, and we're right up in the front again, and this, that, and the other. But they don't know the truth. Nobody knows except for us 4 million people who, and I'm going to get into this later, who haven't been heard yet. And I do mean have not been heard. The purpose, though, was to get new clients on board. It's going to create industry talk. Somebody's going to write an article about it. 4 or 5 people are going to write articles, and it's going to be it was going to be a show of confidence that everything was back to normal, that the company's back, and they're ready to start doing business again, and this, that, and the other. It's a show of strength in front of the investors. And let me talk about the Constitution. He was so nonchalant about buying the Constitution that it was bordering on just dull. It was bordering on the dull. Like, he just was like, yeah, 40 million, not a big deal. I just wanted it because I love America. I want to blah, blah, blah. And he's full of shit. He did that just to show everybody that I can do this. I can do all that. And I'm back to normal. That's what he's trying to tell everybody. But he's trying too hard. And that call was the perfect example of that. This whole thing is part of a bigger play that you're not seeing. It's a psyops play, psychological operation. It is to portray something to the world. right? That's all it is. It's all fake. Ken's running out of money. We know this. He needs hundreds of billions of dollars to use as collateral to short the stock even more. That's the purpose behind it. Okay. It is an overarching sentiment that Citadel, and this is just from the finance industry, Citadel was in trouble. It's questionable leadership, questionable this. The 2 or 3 times Citadel's name has come up in an adverse and a negative way has deterred people from doing business with them. The GameStop saga, the margin calls, the investors, they all know about this. They're keeping an eye on this. It's real. And now what we're going to see is a greater offensive that has ever done before, and I'm planning it out right now. Let's talk about the ape response, okay? I want to be honest with you guys. I love having a Twitter handle. It's really fun and this, that, and the other. It's ineffective for what we're looking for, okay? It's completely ineffective. You can let the general public know the Citadel is doing this. Nobody's going to give a, I don't want to say it, nobody gives a shit. They really don't give a shit in Twitterverse. I want to be perfectly frank with you. You know, we can tag journalists, this, that, and the other. It's ineffective. What we need to do is cut off the blood supply, the money. How do you do that? Well, you don't do it on Twitter. You don't do it on Facebook. You do it on LinkedIn. Twitter's has a limitation, and its limitation is it's not centric. In other words, it's everybody, it's everything, and people are voicing individuality. On a social media like product like LinkedIn, it's strictly business. And if you look at LinkedIn, you can see that it's all finance people. This is where the nerds, the financial nerds of Wall Street, go on, create buzz, create content, and have their industry talk. I want you, if you follow me on Twitter, if you follow me on YouTube, I want you tonight to create a LinkedIn profile. Tell everybody what you do, okay? We're going to create a persona of a regular person, a regular individual that has, you know, a family, a wife, kids, whatever, just a regular person, right? And I want you to write a small article about what you witnessed as a retail investor and what Citadel is doing in terms of manipulating the market. Tell us your experience. Write an article and tag people in it and let people know. Create a profile, create an actual presence on LinkedIn, right? I'm going to give you some pics later on. It's going to be of Bloomberg screenshots, okay? I want you to use that in the article. I'm going to give this to you in little bites, okay? So everyone, we're doing it by the numbers individually, and it's going to create a presence for us on LinkedIn. This is where the fight should have been from a long time ago. It never should have been on Twitter. It never should have been anywhere else other than LinkedIn. This is strategic. Remember, we're being strategic. We're being smart here. LinkedIn is a place of business. This is where finance people go. The finance community on LinkedIn is massive. It's way more than Twitter. It's way more than anything else. Pension managers, fund managers, you name it, they're all on LinkedIn. They're not on Twitter. I'm giving you this prerogative right here. Create a LinkedIn profile. Connect yourself to people in the finance world. Connect your friends, family, whatever, and post content regarding Citadel. Create a wave of people following you and letting them know that this is what's happening. You can tag Citadel, their profile on this. You can tag Ken Griffin and other financial companies. Tag everybody that you see would have an impact, right? We're doing this campaign to let the world know what's happening. And your participation in this will have a direct impact on this squeeze. I guarantee you. This is how we create a buzz. This is how we create the traffic, the word searches, the attention that we're looking for that we cannot get on Twitter. We cannot get anywhere else besides LinkedIn. It's very, very simple, you guys. And I hope you believe and you trust me on this, because I promise you, you're not wasting your time. You're not going to ask for, no one's going to ask you for $1. Just create a profile of what you do, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, if you're a ditch digger, bread maker, candlestick maker, it doesn't matter. Just create a profile and just wait for the next thing. This is part one. I'll create another one where I'll give you the Bloomberg data and you can show the world what's happening. All right. I will post that data, the screen caps, on this link to my on Twitter, and I'll leave a link somewhere else and you can download the screen cap. But this needs to happen. This absolutely needs to happen. Otherwise, they're going to get new clients. And they're going to have all new money. They're going to have fresh money. And from there, it's anyone's guess what happens. But this must happen. This is a priority. Make it a priority in your life, because if this doesn't happen, hey, we can only blame ourselves. All right. So you have been warned, you have been advised, and I hope you listen to me, because this is the only time I'll actually do anything for me. You can do whatever you want. You can go your own ways, right? But every day this price gets lower, they're closer to bringing this to zero. Not that it matters, but the fact that they're going to get capital because they're going to hit their strike prices, right? So what we want is to offset that by taking their business and getting retail investors and institutional investors to know about AMC and what's happening, right? What happens when a fund manager sees this from another pension fund, from another small hedge fund, another this, that, and the other? They see it, they're going to see that Bloomberg data, and they're going to be like, whoa, all right, I'm jumping on board, I'm buying some. And I guarantee we will create a response, okay? So I hope you listen to me. Alpha Bossing signing out.